Hey, welcome all you sixth grade math students. Today our video here at Benold is going to be about decimal to percent and changing percents to decimal. It's very easy. Some of the classes we've already gone over it, but this is for everyone. This is for core and pre-AP. You just need to know one simple thing when you change decimals to percents and percents to decimals, and we call it the Dr. Pepper rule. Okay, so Dr. Pepper, and if you want to write it out, the Dr. Pepper rule. Okay? We're going to use those two letters to figure out everything. Okay? So, watch and learn. So let's take a decimal for instance. Let's take 62 hundredths. Remember, you can write it 0.62 or you can throw a zero right there. Okay, it's a decimal and we want to change it to a percent. So what we do is we do the Dr. Pepper rule. You write down Dr. Pepper, and since it is a decimal, let me clear this up. I'm sorry. Since it is a decimal, you're going to start on this side. Okay? Now, to move your decimal, you want to put it on the percent side. And a couple teachers do it a different way. We just kind of call it the baby's butt. What you do is you go 1, 2, and the decimal ends up over here. Okay? So 1, 2, and what does that equal? 62%. Okay? Now, once you get the hang of it, you don't have to write this out every time, but it's just to show you when you go to decimal to percent, percent decimal, you just move it over twice. Okay? Um, let's do one more decimal, and then we'll move on. Let's say we have 2 and 73 hundredths. Okay? So we want to make it to a percent. Again, if we just look up here, it is a decimal. This time we won't even write anything down with a pen. It is a decimal. We want to make it to a percent. So we start on this side. How do we make it to a percent? We move over 1, 2. So you have it. You make your baby's butt. 1, 2. So same thing. 1, 2. And what does that give you? 273%. It's that simple. That's how you change a decimal to a percent. All right? So now let's go down and let's just do the opposite. Let's take a percent and change it to a decimal. You do the same thing. On this time, we're just gonna write the big Dr. Pepper, and we're gonna do a few examples, and then we'll be good. So percent. Let's say on your first math test, you made a 93%. Okay? So that is a percent, so this time we start over here. Okay? We start over here, and to get to a decimal, we move it 1, 2. Okay, so since this is a whole number, our decimal starts here, and we go 1, 2. So what does 93% turn into? It turns into 93 hundredths. Okay? Now, I told my classes that a teacher a while ago that I used to work with, she would write the percent sign on the board nice and big, and she would tell her class the percent sign is just a funky way of writing 100. Okay? Because I want you to check this out. Look at this. If I turn my paper, what number is that? That's a 1, right? And then you have a 0, 0. So she did this to show the kids that percent is always out of 100. So you can do it to the left, percent to decimal, 1, 2, and make it 93 hundredths. But if you know a percent is always out of 100, and it's 93%, that means you got 93 out of 100, or you got 93% out of 100. So it's just going to be 0.93, or in other words, 93 hundredths. Okay, some of you guys will do easy and memorize that and be able to do it without using this. Let's do 5%. Okay, same thing. We have a percent, and I'll just write it right here. We have percent, and we want to make it to a decimal. We go 1, 2. Now we do the baby's butt the other way. Okay, so the decimal starts here, and we go 1, 2. Is there anything right here? No, but we have to fill it in. Okay, so fill it in with a 0, and since it's 5%, 5 out of 100, it's going to be 0.05. And the way we say that in math is 5/100ths. All right? Guys, it's that simple. We're going to work on it in class. We're going to be doing this the entire week next week. Okay? Make sure to do your WISC. If you're in Dorhauer's class, go to Dorhauer's page, Adam's class, do it on her website. Even if you're in Miss Keogh's class and you're watching this video, make sure to fill out her WISC. All right? Hey, have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.